Hey guys, I have some good news to share with you. 6 days after my appointment, I finally heard back from my doctor's office with the results of my 1-hour glucose test. I kind of figured that no news is good news, but finally they called and they said that I passed. My number was 108. I didn't even think while I was on the phone with them to ask what the significance of that number was. I had no idea if it was high, low, good, bad, no clue. So I asked Dr. Google afterwards, and it said that anything 1 hour after drinking the glucose drink, your blood sugar level should be 180 or less. So mine was 108, that's well under 180. So I guess I did good with the test, I don't know. So no gestational diabetes for this girl. There's one thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about, and that is my current fear at 27 weeks pregnant. I just switched rooms. Let me continue what I was saying. For anyone who's new to our channel or might not know our story, we have been trying to get pregnant for 3.5 years. We did 2 IUIs and then moved on to IVF. And we did our first transfer in June, I think it was June or July 2019. I should know this. Our first embryo transfer ended up in a very early miscarriage, chemical pregnancy. So we went right into another transfer and that one worked. I'm currently 27 weeks pregnant with my first baby, our first baby, and it's a little girl. We're so excited. But that brings me to my current fear. Early on, I think a lot of people feel this way, but especially having gone through the chemical pregnancy, throughout my whole entire first trimester, I was just so scared of having a miscarriage. That was my biggest fear. And then once I reached like 14 weeks, I was totally fine. I didn't even think about it at all. And this whole time I've been good. Like, I haven't been worrying about anything. She's healthy. Basically the whole second trimester, I was fine. Emotionally, mentally, I was totally fine until I turned 27 weeks. So the day that I turned 27 weeks, baby was so active. She was moving around in my stomach so much. And then the next day, it was like all movement stopped. And of course, I have the apps and books, and everything you read says that at this point, baby should become even more active. Books and apps also mention that sleeping on your back is not a good thing because there's a vein or whatever that can get compressed and cut off oxygen supply, and it's just all these things. Like, the less I know, the better I am, because the more I know, the more I worry. So when that day I wasn't feeling her move, I totally freaked out. Like, totally, my mind, I went there, okay? I couldn't help myself. I just thought that there has to be something wrong. How could she be so active one day and then the next day me not feel anything? So I tried everything that I could to get her to move. I was laying on my side, drinking a cold drink, having a snack, doing jumping jacks. I played music on my stomach. I was poking my belly gently, but poking my belly, you know, doing everything that I possibly could to get her to move and react, and there was nothing. I don't even want to talk about it and like bring it into existence, but I was just thinking something with the cord or blood flow cut off, oxygen cut off, like bad things I'm thinking, okay? If you go back a couple videos of ours, you'll see that we did go to the hospital recently. And I didn't want to go through that again. Number one, I mean, safety is priority, but at the same time, we have a $500 copay for any time that we have to go to the ER. So that's a lot of money. And if I can avoid going to the hospital at any chance, then I'd prefer to. I mean, obviously safety is number one and the health of the baby. So what's $500 in the grand scheme of things to make sure everything's okay, but still. So I started looking up like Med Express and urgent care type places to see if they do either ultrasounds or have a Doppler that I could just go in and listen to the heartbeat, because of course I waited too long. I didn't call my doctor. I was just waiting for something to happen. I was just holding off. I didn't want to bother my doctor and freak out over nothing and look like a crazy person. So I held off as long as I could just to see if maybe she'll start moving, you know, in the next hour. I don't know. But I was so close to calling these places or just showing up and seeing if there was anything they could do for me before having to go to the hospital. So that night we ended up going to our friend's house and we were just hanging out, and it was not until 10 o'clock at night, 10 p.m., that I finally felt movement. I was sitting on the couch watching Marley and Me and she finally started moving. Needless to say, I was so relieved, but even though she was moving, it still wasn't very strong. I was really relieved that it was unprovoked movement, but it still kind of wasn't enough for me. Like, I wanted more. So the next day, pretty much the same thing happened. She was not very active at all. I felt like some little, you know, like swishes, but not like the pokes and the big belly rolls that I was feeling 2 days before. Again, this was another day of like not moving very much. So what I ended up doing was ordering a Doppler machine. This is the Sonoline B baby Doppler. I ordered it online from their website. It was like 50 bucks. But I needed something to give me some peace of mind. It comes with the monitor, the sound boosting gel, and the little wand. Even though it wasn't gonna come for a couple days, I was like, that's it. I need to order this. And let me just say, yes, I am very well aware of the dangers of using a Doppler at home. I know that they can cause like a false sense of security. If you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing, you can think that things are good when they might not be. And vice versa, you can think that things are bad when things are totally fine. So I understand the dangers of using a Doppler yourself at home, but I just needed something in that moment, so I ordered one. Now, of course, after I put in the order for this, the next day it seemed like everything went back to normal with her movement. She was kicking up a storm in my stomach, and that obviously made me so happy and calmed my fears, calmed my nerves a little bit. But it's still nice to have this Doppler just as a backup for, you know, even the days that I just want to hear her heartbeat if I, you know, get a little lonely or whatever. So we ended up using this Doppler last night. I'll insert the video here. I don't know if we'll be able to find this heartbeat or not. I don't know what I'm doing, so. Which position makes me not look like a whale? I don't know how much gel I need. Okay, let's try this. Kind of. That's mine. Does that say 83? Let's see what my Fitbit says. 87. Wait, did that just say 87? Found mine, okay.
125.
That's not it. Okay, so mine sounds definitely way different. That was definitely baby before. Like a snowstorm. No. Yeah, but you're not on it. You gotta hear the loud. Yeah. Getting closer. No, up too high. There. Push harder. Push harder. As you can probably see, it's so easy to use. This is not a sponsored video at all, by the way, but it's really easy to use. You just put the gel on your stomach. You can turn up the volume so you hear the heartbeat. I'm pretty sure we found both mine and the baby's heartbeat, and there's a big difference in the way those two sounded. So she's usually on my right side when they do the Doppler, and that's where we were also hearing it for ourselves. So that was exciting. I don't know how accurate it is, but it was still nice to hear. So that's what's going on with me, guys. My fear at 27 weeks might be a little bit irrational, but it was that something bad happened or might happen in utero that leads to baby not moving, if you know what I'm saying. You know, like I said, I don't want to speak it into existence, but that has been my worry. And ever since I have not had any issues with her moving, she's been doing great in there. I don't want to ramble on too much. Thanks for listening to me rant and talk about my, my fears and anxieties currently. Let me know in the comments if you've felt anything similar or what you're currently going through. Let me know that I'm not alone. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.